my new thing I'm doing now, Sabbath Nights. So I put this together because Vivian Campbell, our last in line guitar player, is out with Def Leppard. We can't play as last in line, so I put this together. I've done this last year and 3 times in South America. I might be going back in November. I've done it in Europe, and people seem to love it. And I'm playing all the deep cuts from Sabbath. In South America, we played a lot of the songs are from Mob Rules album because I'm on that. Heaven and Hell, some old Sabbath, and some Dio. And some of the stuff, I mean, in South America, there's these big biker dudes, tattoos, big beards, the whole thing. And we start playing like Children of the Sea or Heaven and Hell. And people are crying
Wow.
in the audience. I had a
Amazing.
great singer in South America too. A great band, same like I have here. And they were crying because they're hearing these songs that are Ronnie's songs, and so tied to Ronnie. And so it's cool. And then the stuff, I'm on most of that stuff. We play Little Dehumanizer, stuff from that album. So this is a cool project. It's like a tribute band, but it's tribute plus me. So it makes it legitimate, that we're playing this. And plus, a lot of these tribute bands play Ozzy stuff. They play all the Ozzy. This is Mob Rules because not a lot of singers could sing Dio. I've witnessed it. You play an Ozzy song, they could sing it. Let's play a Dio song, and you can see the singer's struggling a little bit. Our singer, this guy Jim Crean, he's from Buffalo, New York. He's the singer in the band. He played with Carmine and I when we did Drum Wars, the show we did together. And he just kicks it out, man. Kicks ass. So this is fun. I'm having fun doing this. We'll have more dates coming up. You can go to my website, myname.com, and see what's going on.
Awesome. Hey, I've been hearing a lot about the flow state recently, where you can just get into the flow without thinking about what you're doing. And Vinny Colaiuta said in one interview, thinking is the enemy of flow. So, have you gotten to that state where you're not really thinking about how to do it? You're almost observing yourself do it and you're not thinking?
I see what he's saying. It's more like the feel. The feel is more important than thinking. Okay, I'm in the verse and there's 16 bars and then there's a 2-bar break or something. I play by feel, so I don't really count it or anything like that unless I have to. And it's the flow of the feel, and listening to the other band members and what's the bass player playing. So it's more like feel. I don't play by not counting in my head or any of that stuff, So,
But are you thinking about, oh, we're in the first verse. Okay, here comes the chorus. Are you thinking in large terms at all?
yeah, you could think that. Go, okay, this is the songs that I'm playing, like all the Sabbath Nights and Last Night. I know the song so much, it just can play itself. I can sit there and it'll play itself. But you think about the structure, but I don't think about what I'm playing. I go, okay, the chorus is coming up. Let it rip, and boom, boom, big fill into the chorus. It's all feel for me.
And that's the perfect answer because I was in a big band rehearsal once, and one of the guys said, the chart plays itself. And I was like, what? Wait, that's a freaking awesome concept. It plays itself. It's so good. I mean, if we get to that state, we're having fun,
Yeah. Yeah, but you're playing what the chart says if you're reading that.
Yeah, right. That's the challenge, how to interpret that and not get so stuck into the chart that you're not really listening and playing music,
Well, then you got to listen to the song, listen to what the feel is. Okay, does this work? Does that not work? I mean, I do a lot of stuff for Rock Fantasy Camp. We got a camp coming up in New York, I said, with Simon and Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick. But sometimes we'll play a song, go up there, I don't even know it, but it just take like a bar or bar and a half that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Oh, this feels better. because I don't know the song that well. And I know what sounds good and not cluttered and, so it's all listening. Got to listen.
So yeah, you mentioned the Dehumanizer album. Pretty sure that record was produced by Mac.
Right. He recently passed away too.
What was his approach, to producing? It's got a very raw sound.
Yeah, record. He was able. Well, you know why the drums are cranking on that record, and they're really powerful. He used these 2 pencil mics above the drums that just gave it this crack, and the drums were mixed loud on that record. Because I wasn't there, they were afraid they might not have enough drums. I should leave all the time because it was so loud. I went, yeah, it's very good. Mac, see, with Black Sabbath, we didn't have a producer. We tried other producers. We didn't have anybody or want anybody to come in and start changing chords and telling the band what to do. So, a lot, just suggestions were good. Like, hey, what if you guys did this? One guy came in and started telling Tony Iommi what chords to play.
Uh-huh.
And we're all sitting in the other room going, uh-oh, it's the end of him. And sure enough, the next day he was gone.
Good.
It's Tony Iommi, the master. So you don't do that, The band didn't need that. When Tony and Geezer played together, it sounded like Black Sabbath. Then you add in Ronnie, it's incredible, and then I'm behind it all, powerful. So it worked. So that band didn't need babysitting, It was a different kind of band. So
you said that he had these 2 pencil mics overhead. I know from watching a documentary on Queen that when Mac produced some of their stuff, he used a lot fewer mics than what they had used before. And the band Queen really liked that, the result. Were the drums also close mic'd? That might be a dumb question.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were close mic'd. And each drum had a mic. Bass drum had a couple of mics. And then he had room mics, and he had the pencil mics. But those pencil mics were just right above the snare drum. So I think that's where all the crack and bigness, the live sound came from. And then I did something with his son a couple of years ago, some recording. And I'm recording here in my studio. And I sent it to Mac so he could hear it. And he made some suggestions. And then he sent it back when he embellished it, which he did put a little bit of a sample on the snare and maybe on the kick. But all of a sudden it just went bam, like right in your face, He had such great ears, So he put his magic on it. And I'm not one for samples because I like the ghost notes and I like dynamics. But you couldn't tell with him.
You've been in hundreds of bands. Is there one band that stands out that had the best chemistry of people getting along, that you could actually hear that in the music? We like each other.
Well, that was the first Dio record, first and second Dio record. First record, Holy Diver, was like you looked forward every night at 7 o'clock, going to Sound City, hang out with the boys, smoked a lot of pot. Just it was like a fucking boys' night out club. People would come down, we'd hang out, and we'd play a lot, record it, and do crazy things. And so that was fun. And everybody was on the same page. It was new and fresh. Everybody was young. But that was like the time to kick ass, And that's why that album did really well, and it's still going, still going. 41 years later, it still sells, it's still played, it's still used in movies and stuff. Pretty amazing.
Yeah. Do you have any crazy road stories?
Yeah, there were a lot of crazy things with Jimmy Bain. He was a party animal. And I think one time he had some chick with him, was underage, and she traveled across state lines with him or something backstage. And I think it was after the show, the cops come in and go, "We're looking for James Bain." Oh, Jimmy's probably in there in the dressing room. We weren't quite sure where he was. And then a wardrobe case comes rolling by and whoop, goes into the truck. We didn't know Jimmy was in the case. Shit like that happened a lot with Jimmy. And then the cops go in there, they can't find Jimmy. And of course we wind up, leaving town and that night probably. And he's Jimmy Bob Bain, we used to call him. So just crazy stuff like that, and the usual antics.
That's funny. Hey, you did some drum grooves on heavy metal drums for rock bands, and you did 2 Carmine tracks from Vanilla Fudge and Cactus. Did he give you a passing grade on those?
I don't even remember what that is.
Yeah, I found it on Spotify, and it's just drum grooves from different styles of bands, Cactus, Dio, or whatever. And it's just you all by yourself, and it's phenomenal.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It's great. You forgot about it.
Yeah, I totally forgot. I don't remember that. I don't remember what songs or anything. So.
Wow. I'll have to send you a link for that one.
Yeah, send me a link. That'd be great. I'll check it out.
Awesome. Okay. Do you practice, and if so, how often?
Well, every Tuesday at 4 p.m. I do a live stream, 4 p.m. Pacific time on Facebook, Vinny Appice official.com Facebook. And I've been doing it. Was supposed to be for COVID, and then it was doing really good, and I'm still doing it. It's over 3 years now. So I always have to practice to be, I don't want to go up and play shitty. So for a day or two before, I'm practicing actually over there. I don't know if you can see it. There's a music stand over there and a drum pad. That on the music stand is stick control and syncopation book. And they're open. They're always open. And I'll walk in here, whatever, maybe practice a couple of pages of that stuff, then hop on the drums, warm up, loosen up. So actually this show, it's called Behind the Kit, has kept me in very, very good shape because, you don't have anything like goal. You go, I'll practice tomorrow. I'll practice tomorrow. Here I go, you know what? Today's Monday. I'm going to hop on the drums for a bit, play, then do some pad, and keeps me in shape, And I do a lot of sessions here, too, for other bands. They send songs and different things. I love doing that because I'm the engineer, and I control the sound, all that shit. So, yeah, so I still practice, obviously.
Hey, have you seen the way drummers get paid change over the decades? I mean, from the 70s to now. It was points on an album or whatever. How have you seen that change over the last 40, 50 years?
Well, now, I look at some of these guys and I go, holy shit. They're like scientists, drumming scientists. I got a good friend, you probably heard of him, Marco Minimum. He lives the next town over. He comes over and, the last time he came over, my brother was here. So my brother lives in Florida and I'm in California. So I called Marco. I said, dude, come on over. We're having a barbecue. My brother's here and all that shit. So he came over and then we all wound up in this room, each taking turns playing, and we're laughing. But Carmine never really saw Marco up close. And he's like, wow, fuck. Nuts. I'm doing 9/8 with this hand, 7/4 with this. My foot's on 2/4. My hi-hat's on 3/4. It's crazy stuff. All these guys on the internet, they're so fast and, it's amazing, But it's still the most important thing is the groove and the feel.
Right. Okay. Well, good. And since you brought that up, your playing is, aggressive, especially on the Dio stuff. But the groove in the pocket, man, is on that stuff is so deep. And you managed to put in some crazy fills too, while keeping it all feeling good, you know?
Yeah.
So that kind of behind the beat, in the pocket playing, I think that's just how you normally play. That's just your sort of default setting. Or did you have to kind of work on that?
No, it just came from years of playing. But like I said before about the metronome thing, you know, I better concentrate on that. So sometimes I would put the metronome on. I'm watching TV or something, and I'm flipping through the channels, trying to not flip at that pace, you know, a different tempo. But I always listen to metronome. When I'm playing, you know, especially a song, I can go off like crazy, but I'm hearing this boom, boom, and boom, coming back in on that one. That's what a lot of people that play with me say, you know, it sounded like you weren't going to make it on that one, but you did. I said, because I'm hearing it, man. I'm hearing the fucking boom, boom, boom. I'm hearing the steady metronome thing and it keeps it solid. Then when I come in on that one, go, you know? And with Last in Line with Vivian Campbell on guitar, he'll turn around a little bit and I'll start going fucking crazy. And he's laughing. And he's trying not to even listen. He's just playing. Okay. I know he's going to get it. He's going to come back in on one because he's played with me so many times. And then there it is. Boom. We come back in on one. You know? The fills and all that, you got to think melodic, you know, because I get some lessons and stuff. And to play a little 4-bar solo or something, but nothing repeats. There's no repeat. There's a or fills a some lick they learn. And I listen to it, I go, I don't hear anything there that I can grab onto. You know, playing melodic is very important. And just because it's drums doesn't mean you can't play melodic. You know, you can play melodic fills and repeat a thing in the fill or in the break and fills that fit the song, you know. So it's the steadiness and the melodic. You got to play melodic. And then the inspiration. I have some of these songs inspire me, you know, and a lot of energy there. So
Yeah. Okay. So since we're on this topic, this is a question I was going to ask anyway. When you're doing a fill like that, let's say it's just the most basic, you know, single stroke fill, 8 notes going around the kit, but it's on the verge of dragging. It's like, yeah, it's like you mentioned, the guy was, oh, when is he going to make it? Those kind of fill, that kind of a fill, what is it about that fill that you think people like so much?
because you're playing something, boom, it's so steady that even when you get down here to the end of the fill, it's as important as the beginning. So, you know, it didn't rush at all. Some guys go, you know, this is the end, but the end is just as important as the beginning, or even more important because it's bringing it back in, you know. So you get that, boom, boom, shit like that, you know. It's that bringing it back right in the pocket. You know? Then you could embellish that roll, you know. You know, just start adding all sorts of crazy stuff in there.
Yeah, and speaking of time and feel and everything else, it seemed like John Bonham was singing a lot when he played. You'd see him singing, or a lot of drummers.
I got a tape of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, do you do some singing, or are you bouncing your heels around? Are you feeling time?
No, I'll do some groaning. Well, this is groaning too. You know, and when I do this live stream, sometimes I'll play with the mic. I'll go, all right, in this groove here. And I'll play and I catch myself going, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, it's within, you know, it's a feel, it's inside of you. So
how much are you bouncing? Do you bounce your heels up and down on your left foot?
No. Sometimes I move my left foot off the hi-hat if I'm on the ride. I'll just leave it off and fucking going stage right all the way, man. It's the right side of me is pumping it out. Okay. I mean, even though it's the left hand, it's just like focused and power that way.
You've done thousands of gigs. Do you have one gig that stands out as like, that was the one, that's it, you know, favorite gig?
Well, you know, some shows are just magic. It's effortless. You go playing, everything just sounds good. You're playing good. So those are great, but they don't happen all the time. Then when you're doing the whole tour, a lot of times be good. Then in a couple of shows are not so good. You're struggling a little bit, or there's a better one. You know, it's going to go like that a little bit. So, I mean, the best gig was when played Madison Square Garden with Sabbath. You know, because I played Madison Square Garden for the first time with Derringer, but we opened for Aerosmith. So we were the opener. And then 4 or 5 years later, back in Madison Square Garden, we're the headliners. Wow. Yeah, I got the riser, I got the big drum set. The place is packed. And it's like, wow, how cool is this? And then again, a couple of years later with Dio, we played Madison Square Garden and it was like sold out, you know? And so those are gigs that stand out. The rest of them, there's so many nice, you know, cool gigs, and Hawaii was nice, and South America, they just go crazy. The fans of South America are like insane. They're like no other, you know? And so I might go back down there in November. Great people, great promoter, and we'll see what happens.
What do you think is the largest audience you played to, and how did you feel before you went on stage?
Like in 2009, we did Wacken Festival. It was about 85,000, 90,000 people. It was as far back as it was wide. That's how big it was. But you just look out and you go, okay, you can't really focus on anybody that's so far away. And then there's a pit.
Right.
You play a small club or something, there's a couple of people right there. He's a drummer. Focus on that. He's a drummer. You want to pump it right in their face, you know? So.
Yeah, and I've heard some people point out, like in their mind, one person in the audience and say, I'm going to focus on you, rock until you move because you're not moving, so I'm going to put it on you. And it gives them something to focus on, you know?
Yeah, it gives you like a goal to play. I do that too. You go, you know what? My brother-in-law is here. We used to go to drum lessons together. He doesn't play anymore, but he's here. I got to fucking focus on that and kick ass tonight. And then, depends who's in the audience, you know. My brother comes to the show. Oh, ooh, okay. There's our target.
Right, right.
Do you wear hearing protection, and how is your hearing?
What? I wear little swimming plugs that cover out the top end, and that's it, and my hearing sucks.
Really?
The TVs in this house are all closed caption. And I'm always asking my beautiful girlfriend, Leslie, what? What did he say? So, my hearing's terrible.
I mean, so going back how far in your career, when did you start wearing the earplugs?
I wore them probably first started with Sabbath because it was so loud. You know, we play with monitors. The first Sabbath tour, Mob Rules, they were fucking refrigerator-sized cabinets, 2 of them behind me, just crank. But you can't play that stuff through in-ears. You know, it's Black Sabbath and Dio, and you got to feel the power, you know. So, unfortunately, it takes a toll on your ears. So, but I still hear, you know, it's funny. I don't hear great Like on the TV, if they're talking, I'm better off with the closed caption, or in a room with a lot of noise, forget it. It's hard to hear anything. But I can hear bad tuning, wrong notes, wrong key, wrong movements, whatever, timing, and music while we're on stage. I'll be playing, it's loud. But what the fuck? That's the wrong note, you know? And somebody's hitting the wrong note and stuff like that. I could hear that like perfect. But everything else is screwed up.
Yeah, I saw on an interview that I believe you saw Vanilla Fudge open for Zeppelin.
No, it was Zeppelin opening for the Vanilla Fudge.
Oh my God, that's crazy, right? And how many times did you see Zeppelin live?
I might have seen them twice. And I was a little kid. You know, Carmine's playing with the Fudge. My parents always brought us to the shows, me and my sister Terry. And Carmine said, you know, this band Led Zeppelin. Okay. So they come on, open the show. It was like, whoa. Then the Fudge were whoa, too. They kicked ass. And then Carmine gave me Led Zeppelin 1 album. He goes, now listen to it. There's a really good fucking drummer on this. And okay, and I was like 10 years old, 11 years old. So that's when I got turned on to Zeppelin, Carmine. So he knew Bonham pretty well.
Did you get to meet him too?
Nope.
What about Buddy Rich?
Yeah, Buddy Richard. Bonham was supposed to come down to London when we played with Black Sabbath with Jimmy Page. And 2 weeks before the show, he died.
Oh.
I never got to meet him. And then Buddy Rich, met him a number of times through Carmine. Carmine was good friends with him. And then we even went to see him at Disneyland, Carmine and I, and we smoked a big fat joint with him.
Oh, man.
He goes, you smoke? I go, what? No, we don't smoke cigarettes. No, do you smoke? Oh, yeah. So he rolled one up in chocolate paper, and we fucking smoked this thing. And then 5 minutes, 10 minutes later, go, okay, we got to go on. All right, we'll leave you. Have a good show. And me and Carmine go out, and the audience were like, duh. And Buddy goes out and fucking plays flawlessly. He's stoned, and it doesn't matter what, nothing's stopping him, man.
That's awesome.
Beautiful. So that was great that he got to do something like that with Buddy. I know his daughter, Kathy, and Greg Potter, you know, they have the Buddy Rich band. And we hang out a lot when we're in the same town and stuff. So she's great. Fantastic.
Awesome.
You said that you listen to all kinds of music, I think. Who do you listen to that would surprise a fan of Vinny Appice?
Good correction there.
Yeah, I heard that.
Carmine's Appice, I'm Appice.
Yeah.
Actually, I like Sheryl Crow. Wow. I just seen her thing on PBS, one of those concerts. She's really, really good, really good. And I've listened to her first couple of records and stuff. And I like her. You know, it's a break from everything else. I don't listen to many people, you know, because my ears are like fried anyway. And I'm always working. I'm always doing something or recording. And I don't listen to too much of other stuff. I'd like to play a song with her and pump it up a little bit.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Come on, Cheryl. All right. Well, nice talking to you guys. And pump my thing on Tuesday, 4 p.m. LA time.
Yeah.
Pacific time. It's called Behind the Kit on Facebook. And I'll be there tomorrow doing this. And it's fun, you know. See, that's the other thing is rewiring this thing slightly to get a sound on Facebook. Because with Facebook, Facebook will only take and left and right. Even though I got all those inputs, individual drums, it won't go into Facebook. It's got to come out of 1 and 2 mic input into the computer. It's the weirdest thing. So I finally figured that out a long time ago, and then I mess around with mics. I'll put the subwoofer on and give it a little oomph, you know. So it's cool.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Vinny.
All right, thank you. Good luck with the show, and bye, everybody. Thanks for listening all these years. I hope you don't have to use closed caption
Yeah.
like I do. Anyway, I had fun destroying my ears. That's the way I say it. So.
Yeah, that's for sure. You
Bye-bye.
take care. We'll see you in the future.
Okay, bye.